Let's go and see the doctor. That's going to make Cookie better.
Many of the hardest to treat pets in Britain
Right, it's hedgehog time.
are brought to one extraordinary practice, run by the man known as the Bionic Vet, Professor Noel Fitzpatrick.
What we're going to do has never been done before, ever.
He performs some of the most advanced procedures ever attempted.
It's the smallest total hip replacement in the world today. This is a textbook result. Actually, it's not even in the textbook.
As the lives of his patients and their families hang in the balance,
I've never seen an infection take hold this quick ever in my life, actually.
Noel continues to find new ways to give them a chance.
Of course, we don't know if it'll work.
That dog is the only thing that even makes me carry on.
Offering hope against all the odds.
She wants to say, hi, this is my new bionic leg.
It's just a miracle.
At Noel's practice in Surrey, people come from far and wide in search of pioneering treatments for their much-loved pets.
There's absolutely no question that the dogs and cats that I see are members of people's families. They give us unconditional love.
We can have belly rubs all day long, all day long.
It is obvious when somebody comes in and their dog is their baby.
No, we're having a spa treatment.
They're on their laps and they're cuddling and they're kissing and they're talking to them like they're just their little mate that's sat next to them for the day.
When people have close bonds with their pets, I think it does definitely hit hard when something bad happens to them. It's probably like having a brother or sister or a child that's been hurt.
Noel's first patient today is a 10-month-old German pointer called Hector. Hector's been to the practice before, but Becky and Simon have brought him in for a follow-up consultation.
He's got a problem with his spine, which is affecting his ability to walk. His legs are very floppy. You can see when he walks, he's a little bit all over the place. You can see he's got lots of kind of cuts and scrapes on his legs because he's not got so much control of his legs.
You're so good, Hector.
Becky and Simon and their sons, Ben and Noah, have had Hector since he was a puppy.
We fell in love with Hector the moment we saw him. He was so cute and he just ran up to us and we couldn't say no, really.
I didn't know that he was going to have a beard. It's fun that he's got a beard. And sometimes when he drinks water, it just dribbles down his beard and it's a trail of water
all across the living room.
Yeah.
Hector!
Hector was 8 months old when he started to lose control of his back legs.
Good boy, come on.
When we came back from holiday in the summer, Hector started to go lame over the space of a week, first in the front quarter and then in the hind quarters. He'd be yelping when he just even stand up, or he couldn't even stand up sometimes. You just didn't know what you could do to help.
You're so good, Hector.
Referred to Fitzpatrick's by their local vet, the family were told that Hector needs spinal surgery, but he was too young at the time.
Lands on me.
His condition has been managed with steroids, but now that he's older, they're hoping that surgery can go ahead.
Now all we'd like is for him to be better again and for him to be able to run around and play with other dogs again. He is another brother. Yeah, it's like he's always been here. All my memories now, like, Hector's in them.
Hello, Fitzpatrick Referrals, orthopaedics and neurology.
CT and MRI scans will reveal if Hector is now fully grown and whether his condition has deteriorated over the last few months.
He's got a condition which is very difficult to treat. If we look at the neck of a dog here, between those two vertebrae, there's an abnormality. And what happens is the facet, which is the joint here at the top, is bigger than it should be. So it's squishing from both sides and it's garroting the spinal cord like an hourglass. You can quite clearly see on the MRI scan here, top coming down there, pinching the cord. This is a massive problem. And actually, I've just noticed that there's a second problem as well. This vertebra is tilted relative to that one. And that's a problem because not only is there an unstable junction between those two vertebrae, number 2 and number 3, but there's also an unstable junction between number 3 and number 4.
If Hector doesn't have surgery soon, he could end up being paralyzed.
He's got a very serious problem, and this is a problem that you actually don't know about yet, that we've discovered today. And that is that the vertebrae behind that junction are also unstable. What I would be recommending is a double site fusion, but you need to understand that this is not without risk, and it does carry the potential risk of death, either in recovery or during the surgery. But if you don't do it, he's going to remain in pain, and ultimately he would end up being put to sleep.
Noel wants to operate as soon as he can. But first, special implants that Noel has developed will have to be custom made for Hector's neck.
I'll go and get him for you.
Becky and Simon will bring him back to the practice in a week's time.
All right, guys, God bless. Cheers.
The severity of it, I don't think it really hit us until just what actually is entailed in the operation and the risks, because it's a pretty serious operation.
There isn't another option. If we don't have the operation, his condition will deteriorate and he'll have to be put to sleep.
Too special.
Yeah, so we just need to get it done. We just need to have the operation done and get him fixed.
Do you know who we look like? Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Oh my God, them little egg things off Alice in Wonderland.
You know they wear the little high-waisted shorts that are like... You have to really like hoik these up, don't you?
So sexy.
Now I look like Simon Cowell.
It's late morning.
Hello.
Hiya, your medicine's on its way down.
Okay, that's fine. I shall put that on the board for you. Thanks, bye.
An emergency referral has been rushed to the practice.
There we go. All right, sweetheart. Okay, all right. Shh.
A 17-month-old Labradoodle called Mitzy has been hit by a car.
1, 2, 3. Go. Okay, girls, that's fine. Just close up the car and come on in.
She's been brought in by Catherine and her mum, Sheila.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, what happened?
I was in my car and I was going shopping. I drove out, we've got electric gates to the front of the property.
Yeah.
So they opened and unfortunately Mitzy got out and she made a beeline for the straight out the electric gates before they'd shut.
I ran out, tried to get her back, and she went into the road and a car was coming.
So you saw it happen?
Yeah.
Did she get hit on the left or the right?
On the left.
On the left.
On my left.
On her left, yeah,
On her
okay.
left side.
What has your vet said so far?
She's got 4 fractures of the pelvis. I think it was her left rear leg that that she can't weight bear on.
Okay, let's just get her out. We're just going to check her pelvic limbs. Hey, sweetheart. Let's go. There we go. Good. Okay.
There, that's a good girl.
Major nerves run through the pelvis. Noel needs to check for any sign that they're damaged.
Hang on, this isn't right.
Catherine is too upset to stay in the consult room. She goes back into reception to wait for Noel's diagnosis.
My daughter is taking it very badly. I mean, she blames herself because she didn't check the gates. Well, she didn't imagine that she would actually go out.
I'm going to need to check what's happening with the spine and make sure that we're not missing anything, because she could have a crack in her spine that I can't see. The pelvis is, I can feel major crunching here, major crunching. So I suspect that one half of her pelvis is detached from her spine. Okay, would your daughter like to come in and say goodbye before we take her through? I don't want her to feel like she hasn't had a chance.
Do you want to come and say? They're going to take her through, so she's all right, she's all right. No, she's all right. But, you know, just so that...
Sorry, sweetheart, I know it's very traumatic. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Good girl. It's not... Hey, it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. Stuff happens, stuff happens. Stop blaming yourself. Stop it.
What are you doing?
I'll do my best. Yes, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Okay, but you gotta be brave. All right, I'll see you in an hour. All right, boys, let's go.
Mitzy needs to be taken through for further tests, but first, Noel wants to re-examine her.
But that front leg just isn't right on the left.
He suspects that her injuries could be more serious than he first thought.
So this reflex isn't coming back. That should come back straight away. That's not good. Let's try the other one. I'm just not convinced that this is normal. Okay, relax. All right, we possibly have an unstable neck injury, so be careful when she goes down not to move anything. And we definitely have a multiple fractured pelvis unstable.
Mitzy now needs to be sedated for x-rays. If the outlook isn't good, Sheila may decide that putting her to sleep is the kindest option.
It's got to be the correct decision for her, not for us. So I always think of what she's like, and I wouldn't want her to live a life that she is not her, because that's not Mitzy.
In reception, Sheila and her daughter Catherine have been waiting for the results of 17-month-old Mitzy's x-rays. Mitzy was hit by a car yesterday, and Noel is concerned that she may have a damaged spine, as well as a badly fractured pelvis.
If you just hold her head a little bit.
Mitzy.
Sheila's daughter Catherine has been distraught since she witnessed the accident.
You don't need to come in, and I know you're really upset. I'd like to show you the x-rays. I'd like to show you what I propose to do, but it's up to you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. But come bring the tissues. And it's okay to be upset. I know you're beating yourself up. Okay? So what I can tell you is I was initially worried about the neck and about the reflexes in the legs. I'm not so worried about that now. There's no direct evidence of any problem with that neck. This is a complex pelvic fracture. So this side of the pelvis is separated from the sacrum. So that is separated there and shunted forward by about 2 centimeters. And this is fractured and shunted forward by about 7 centimeters. At the moment, this is not potentially fatal. Can I promise you a result? No, I cannot.
No,
because I don't know yet. But do I absolutely think it's worth doing? Yes, I absolutely do.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, my pleasure. Thank you.
So listen, not too bad, not too bad. Come on now.
I thought you were
Come on.
gonna...
It's all right, I'm not.
Thank you.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You okay? You thought I was going to say we'd put her to sleep. Yeah. I know. I know. Listen, it's not the end of the world.
It's now 2 p.m. and 4 hours since Mitzy was admitted. Noel wants to realign her pelvis quickly or her fractured bones could cause muscle and nerve damage.
It's in the lap of the gods now. Keeping our fingers crossed, really, that he can fix her and put it all back in the right place again.
All right, let's go.
Sheila and Catherine will wait for news at home.
We're getting this injury within 48 hours, which means the muscle is not yet contracted, so it should be easier to get everything back into alignment.
First, Noel needs to reattach the right side of Mitzy's pelvis onto her sacrum, the base of the spine. He does this by driving in a screw which pulls the two bones together. He then inserts a second screw to stop the two bones rotating.
That's the ilium, which is the bone of the pelvis, back on the sacrum. That's locked down tight. You can see if I press on it there with my finger, it doesn't move. Now we're going to go down on the left side and we're going to repair the fracture. Okay, so we can see the fracture fragment there. Okay, we're going to attach that to this.
Noel joins the two fracture fragments together using screws. He then secures them using a metal plate and several other screws.
There we go, job done. Go.
The next 24 hours will be crucial for Mitzy. She'll be kept under strict observation overnight. It's early morning.
The mornings at the practice are quite chaotic.
Code brown, go, go, go!
So when we're at our most busiest is when the dogs decide that they're going to release their bowels.
I can taste it so bad.
There is a poo-picking rota. I think it's quite a lengthy rota, so you don't actually have to do it that often.
I don't think there's any bodily fluid that I haven't cleaned up, mainly dogs and cats.
Well, you don't pee up him, we'll be fine.
I draw the line at humans.
Waiting to see Noel in reception today is the Prescott family and 4-year-old Zola.
Good girl.
Zola is a Leonberger, a giant breed with a friendly temperament.
I thought, well, if we're going to get a dog, we'll get a real dog, and we'll get a big one.
I'd wanted a dog for years, so I absolutely jumped at it and obviously never told Mum how big she was.
She's just so gentle, really. She's a lovely dog.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, the family noticed a lump on Zola's front leg. They've been told that it's an aggressive form of bone cancer called an osteosarcoma. They've come to find out if Noel can offer them any hope.
So I'm just keeping everything crossed that all goes well today.
All right, sweetheart. Okay, come on, I need to have a look at you. Stand over here for me, sweetie. Let's Tony, if you go there and hold her head for me, please. Let me give me a little access here. And has the lump changed at all since you last?
I think it's gone a bit bigger.
Right. What I'm checking for is how far down the swelling is coming.
Yeah.
And how far up it's going into the tissues here.
Okay.
So at the moment, it's between my finger and my thumb.
Okay.
There's 4 options.
Okay.
Option 1 is to give her painkillers and to try and reduce the bone pain. The second option, apart from painkillers, is radiation therapy. Options 3 and 4 are to take the leg off or to replace the tumor with a piece of metal. Both of those options, in my opinion, will be highly questionable if there was any detectable spread.
Yes.
That tumor almost certainly by now will have sent cells into the rest of the body. We won't see those cells. What we will see is if there's gross metastatic spread, meaning that if those cells have grown into a clump.
Yes.
And the most common place they do that is in the lungs.
If the family do nothing, Zola will be in pain and won't have long to live. However, treatment will not cure her. It will only give the family more time with her.
The median survival time is 11 months. In other words, if you look at the bell curve of survival for an osteosarcoma, the median of that is 11 months. She might live longer.
Yeah.
She might live shorter. I have one dog at the moment out 4 years, but that's exceptional.
Yeah.
So I think that all of the decisions we make have to be based on the morals of putting her through anything.
Yeah.
before discussing treatment further, Noel needs to find out if the cancer has already spread to other parts of Zola's body.
You've got to think whether it's going to be worth putting it through any invasive or sorts of chemotherapy and for quality of life, and whether, if we have to get it put down, and even if you have to do that, when would you put it down? Would she be put down today or next week or a week after? I just don't know yet. So I have to wait and see.
It's incredibly difficult to know what to do when you've been told your animal friend has cancer. It can be absolutely devastating. It's always a balancing act between quality of life and quantity of life. And no matter how much people desperately want to prolong life, we have to always ask the question, is it in the animal's best interest, or is it just because you can't say goodbye? Now, Zola, please. Sorry about the delay, guys. I personally cannot see gross spread at the moment, which means that at the moment we're in with a chance of that median survival time now, remember.
Is this the 11 months?
This is the 11 months I'm talking about. I think that that is a resectable cancer. In other words, I think I can cut it out.
Oh, okay.
Noel could replace the bone tumour with an implant which he invented.
What I'm trying to do is put this kind of thing in there. We know that this works mechanically. We've not had a failure of this particular unit.
I mean, she won't be miserable if we do this. That's my main concern, like that she's going to be in pain or anything like that.
There's no pain with this implant. Within 7 to 14 days, there is no pain.
No.
And in fact, she'll be in less pain after a week than she is today.
However, before the family makes a decision, Noel wants to get the opinion of his colleagues who specialise in cancer.
We always get the medical oncologist, surgical oncologist, and myself to look at him. And we do that in what's called tumor rounds.
Zola will stay in overnight so that Noel can consult with his colleagues tomorrow.
We can't really say anything till we know more tomorrow, but it does sound a little bit, or a lot more promising, doesn't it, than what we originally thought, really to be honest. So.
I thought the cancer might have spread anyway, so that's good news.
Yeah. We're smiling a bit more than what we were earlier.
Yeah.
They look like The Shining, doesn't it? Nicely. Yeah!
It's been 6 days since Becky and Simon brought Hector in to see Noel. Hector's implants have been manufactured, and surgery to stabilise the vertebrae in his neck can now go ahead.
I know Noel has done this with other dogs lots of times. He's not done it with Hector, and yeah, I'm just really, really worried. You know, I know the chances are that he'll be fine, but I'd just be heartbreaking if he's not.
Becky and Simon and their sons will be separated from Hector for the next few days.
Well, the boys normally come home at different times in the day, and there's normally an absolute charge to the door as Hector ploughs through everything to just meet them. So for them,
be really quiet. Be really quiet. Oh, I just want him back.
Just got to be patient now. Yeah.
I'm shaking.
So we're going to operate on Hector now. We've positioned him very specifically so that his neck is way back up like this, and what that will do is it will tilt the vertebrae into the right position.
The vertebrae in Hector's neck are malformed and are crushing his spinal cord. Noel's plan is to push the vertebrae away from the cord using 2 spacer devices. He'll then secure everything in place using the custom-made implants.
Good morning.
As with any spinal surgery, the operation carries major risks. One false move and Noel could sever Hector's blood vessels or nerves.
You can see here where there's a major blood vessel right there. You can see it pumping, so that's an artery.
Having exposed Hector's vertebrae, Noel can carefully insert the spacers.
So this spacer pushes those two vertebrae apart permanently. And it's coated in hydroxyapatite, which is a special mineral that encourages bone on-growth. So the bone will physically grow through that screw and onto it over the next few months.
He's now ready to screw in the custom-made plates.
So we've put a plate which is shaped like a saddle between those two vertebrae, putting 2 screws into number 4, 2 screws into number 3. We're now going to use another plate to put 2 screws into number 2, and then we're going to link them all together with some rods.
Finally, Noel inserts some bone graft, which he's taken from Hector's shoulder.
This mechanical construct will hold everything stable for now, but it's the bone graft that will fuse all of the 3 vertebrae together so that they can never come loose again. Without this stuff, I am nothing. Without biology to help me, I may as well pack up my scalpel blade and leave. If you look at the X-ray picture from the side, we'll see here where the spacer devices are at the right level, so they should be flush with the bottom of the spinal canal, so that's very satisfactory. Hi Becky, it's Noel, how are you?
Hi Noel, I'm fine.
Everything went as I expected it would go. The post-op imaging looks as well as I could possibly hope for. I can't be 100% sure until we see how he recovers from surgery.
Of course.
The surgery bit went fine.
Thank you so much.
Not out of the woods, but we can see the clear.
No.
In nearby Guildford, Noel's Specialist Cancer Centre for Animals is the first of its kind in Europe.
Come on then, good girl.
Today he's brought along 4-year-old Leonberger Zola. He's asked 2 colleagues, cancer specialists, to check whether they think her cancer has already spread.
It looks fairly confined, the distal radius.
So the shadow's just up to there, right?
Yeah. So
there's quite a good cut-off between tumour bone and normal bone.
With regard to chest, I told them if we had no gross met spread at this point, then median survival 11 months, but we could get longer, we could get shorter.
Her chest looks good, so I think that's as clean a bill of health as we can get.
With no visible sign that the cancer has spread, Noel is happy to operate to remove Zola's tumour. The surgery should prolong her life, but it's up to her family to decide to go ahead, to amputate the entire leg, or to have her put to sleep.
And right now they're going to have to make a kind of life or death decision. I don't envy them having, you know, the phone next to their ear waiting for this phone call.
Hello.
John, hi, it's Noel.
Hi Noel.
Right, so I had Tumor conference this morning with my colleagues. We all agree that there is no gross evidence of spread at this time. In other words, we can't see anything. Now, I know you'll have spent the night agonizing over it, but what do you feel?
I think we'll go ahead with the operation.
Okay, all right, so I have your permission to proceed?
You do, yes.
If we're lucky, we'll be on the long end of the bell curve.
Yeah.
If we're unlucky, we'll be on the short end.
Noel will operate this afternoon.
What are you doing? Oh, Billy Rubs. She looks mischievous, that one. Oh, no. Why do I bother putting any makeup on?
It's tasty.
Oh, you've got the wackiest tail ever.
Good girl. Good girl. Well
Out in the practice grounds, Noel is checking up on young Labradoodle Mitzy. It's been 3 days since he performed emergency surgery on her pelvis after it was crushed by a car.
Good girl. Oh, that's really great. She's actually coping really, really well. A little bit of bruising back here as we would expect, but no pain. Her reflexes are all very good. Feet coming back straight away. Good girl. Well done.
Noel thinks she's ready to be discharged.
Get her walking back in and I'll do
Today we're picking Mitzy up to take her home. Hooray! Can't wait.
I couldn't even speak last time, so...
No, much.
Yeah. Much happier now.
Yes.
Okay, now she's not out of the woods, but she is doing very well. This is what the post-op looks like. The ilium is reattached there onto the sacrum with that big screw, and then there's another screw beside that to stop rocking. This has been pulled all the way back down here and reattached here. And in fact, already she's extremely comfortable, extremely happy. Yeah. So if you move your chairs back, I'll bring her in.
Oh, Mitzy! Mitzy! Oh, sweetheart.
And this is how you walk her for 3 weeks, until she builds up the muscle strength again. I don't want any slipping, no sliding, and certainly no doing the splits.
No, oh no, no, no.
We need to give the bones a chance to heal.
It's absolutely amazing.
Oh, it's such a relief to see her. She's beautiful. Such progress in such a short time. I mean, we're not like that. We don't recover so well, do we?
I was so worried that she wasn't going to come back at being the same Mitzy, the same dog, but I know that she's going to be okay.
In prep, Zola has been sedated for surgery. Because she has arthritis in her back legs, amputation is a poor option. Instead, Noel intends to cut out the tumour and replace it with a prosthetic implant.
These are the components of the implant here. Comes as a jigsaw puzzle that we fit together inside each dog. This piece will go on, which will fit on the wrist. And then this bit will go on the toes down here.
The surgery should give Zola a better quality of life in the time she has left.
So we're good to go.
First, Noel has to remove the tumour without cutting Zola's blood vessels or nerves.
It's always a little bit scary because you hope you can get all the tumour out and leave the blood vessels and nerves intact, because if you can't, the foot will go gangrenous. Leo, grab the foot. The tumour's right here.
Noel makes a cut in the bone 5 centimetres above the tumour and through the wrist joint below it to try and make sure he has clear margins.
I'm now going to pull the tumour out. It's a peculiar thing when you hold cancer in your hand, because that's the essence of life and death. These cells are immortal. They basically grow and grow until they kill the creature they live in.
Noel's now ready to fit the implant.
These 2 plates are going to go onto the palm of the foot. Slide them underneath the blood vessels there. Right down onto the wrist. The wrist is going to sit on that.
Next, he attaches the top section of the implant to the 2 bones in Zola's forearm. He then checks alignment before locking everything into position.
So that's it. 2 hours and 40 minutes is the difference between life and death, or having a leg or no leg. Everything's possible. That looks about right to me. So we're good to go. Okay, guys, thanks very much. Good job.
Okay, so the X-ray pictures look good. You can see here where there's a plate attached to the 2 bones at the top and 2 of the bones of the palm at the bottom, and the wrist is fused. There's multiple screws in here holding everything together. So, fingers crossed, wrist fused. Hopefully it'll be fine.
Good girl, good girl.
It's a week since Noel operated to remove the cancerous tumour in Zola's leg and inserted a metal implant.
Well done, sweetheart, well done. That's wonderful, wonderful. She's walking really well on the leg. Bandage is off. The swelling's gone down. You can see she's really comfortable, she's happy. Yes, I know. We're supporting her on this harness, and we're just stopping her running away with this sling because she's raring to go. If we let her go, she'd be across that field in a heartbeat. Let's get you home, sweetheart. Come on then, let's go.
Zola's cancer could return at any time, but for now, John and Tony have come to collect her.
It's been really scary actually, because obviously it was such a big operation. I've really missed her around the house because she's such a big presence. Can't wait to get her back now.
Who's here, mate?
Hello. Hi.
As you can see, she's in great form. Stay for me. How happy is that? Oh, shade. How happy is that? She looks great, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And as you can see, she's raring to go. She wants to say, "Hi, Dad. Hi, Dad. This is my new bionic leg." Right, well done. Take care. We'll see you.
But it's nice to see she's in such good health and she's basically happy.
Yeah. A lot happier than when we brought her in, so it seems to have really worked well. Apart from a big cone on her head. She's a bit of a robot dog now. She's got metal all over.
Zola will be given chemotherapy and will return to the practice for regular checkups. But for now, she can go home and spend precious time with her family.
It's nice and quiet in here, but there's still too much for you to look at, isn't there?
It's early evening. While most of the staff have gone home,
Hey, Hector. Good boy.
Noel is checking up on Hector. It's 24 hours since his surgery.
Good boy. Good boy. That's awesome, mate. Well done. Good boy. He's doing tremendous. That's a really good result within 24 hours. He's up and walking about, so that's a real good result at this point. Early days, but very encouraging. Come on, mate. Off we go. Come on, bud. Come on.
Three days later, and Hector's ready to go home. Becky and Simon have come to collect him, along with their sons, Ben and Noah.
So relieved. I didn't want to believe it was all going to be okay, because you just never know, do you?
For us to get him back today, and for the boys to see him as well, we're really excited.
Hi, guys. Hello. How are you? I'm Noel. Nice to see you. Ben and you're Noah. Nice to see you.
Hello, nice to
Hey,
see
mate.
you.
How are you? What we're going to do is we're going to look at the post-operative CT scan. So he's got a bridge between the 3 vertebrae, bone graft in between, 2 spacers holding the vertebrae apart. And as I rotate, you will see that the screws go out on either side of the spinal cord. Clearly that needs to heal. So the bone marrow will turn 3 bones into 1. And they will become 1 in the next 8 weeks. And then over time, and it can be up to a year, the bits that we're squishing down slowly waste away. So the spinal cord gets more room over time, providing that he doesn't have an accident. And here's where you come in. He can't do this and fall down and bash his neck because he'll scream. He's had a big neck surgery. He can't escape. You can't open the cage when mom and dad are not there. He has to have strict confinement on the harness. And I can't emphasize to you enough that I've done my bit, but you got to do your bit now.
Yeah.
Okay, we crystal clear? We don't want any accidents.
Hector will need to return to the practice in 8 weeks' time
Thank you so much.
to make sure new bone has grown and started to fuse his vertebrae together.
It was amazing though, wasn't it, when he was showing you all the bits and they showed them all the different screws that went in and all the different parts.
I thought it was a bit complicated, but I did get it in the end.
Very careful for the next 8 weeks while he heals, that's the important thing. And let nature do what nature does.
Good afternoon, Fitzpatrick Referrals, Orthopaedics and Neurology. How can I help?
It's been 4 months since Zola had the cancerous tumour in her leg removed. John and Tony are hoping that the surgery will extend her life by nearly a year. Today they've brought her in for a checkup with Noel.
I'm a little bit nervous just because I want everything to be all right, but I'm sure they will be fine. I just don't want any surprises to say something has gone wrong.
Scans and x-rays will reveal if new bone has started to grow onto Zola's bionic leg. The images will also reveal if the cancer has spread.
Okay, so I have mixed news.
Okay.
There is some spread to the chest. There's a nodule there.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
There. We don't know how long Zola will live.
Right, okay. Any rough idea?
I don't know, but probably 4 months.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gutted for you.
And what's the best thing we can do for her now then?
Let her have a really happy life for the next however many weeks. There's no problem with the leg. The leg's not going to do it break or anything like that. It's brilliant. It's heartbreaking because her healing's been magnificent. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Okay, thanks, mate.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. You did your best anyway.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. It's utterly heartbreaking. The problem is if we had a crystal ball and we knew which dogs were going to live a very short time, then that would be much better for us, but we don't have a crystal ball.
Oh, it's horrible. I just didn't think it'd be that quick, to be honest, so I was really gutted. Yeah. I was really, really upset about it.
Well, I think we just carry on as normal and do the things that she likes to do, and most of that is, to be honest, lying on the settee or lying on the carpet. So we'll take her out and just do what we have been doing with her. And then obviously when things start deteriorating a bit, I'll speak to Noel or our local vet and see what the best advice is and how to deal with that. And that's just the way forward now, I think.
It's 10 weeks since Hector had his spinal operation.
Hector's doing really well. He's a bundle of energy and it's almost like he'd never had surgery. Hector! When we go out for a walk, he wants to chase squirrels and play with other dogs and dig holes and eat sticks. Generally cause mischief.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
From seeing the scan, everything has grown round. The pins that were put in, the bone graft took. It's just one solid structure. It's quite remarkable how fast that's happened. It's just great to see him bounding around, exploring, sniffing. It's just remarkable.
Over the last few months, Mitzy has been recovering from surgery following her accident.
She just has the most adorable eyes. The day of the accident was possibly just the worst experience ever. And the worst possible thought I could possibly imagine is that she wouldn't recover and that it would all be my fault.
Where's the stick? Good girl.
It's unbelievable to see Mitzy how she is now. It really is. It's like nothing has ever happened. It's just a miracle.
That's a good girl. And she's out chasing pheasants and rabbits and squirrels again. She's like another child, really. It's lovely to be all together as a family again.